I hadn't set foot in my grandpa's old lake house in nearly 2 years. City life had me tangled in construction deadlines and office chaos. And the thought of driving 3 hours to sweep cobwebs from a creaky old place always got pushed to the bottom of my list. But my wife, Emily, wasn't letting it slide anymore. Half joking, half deadly serious, she'd been on my case for months to make time. So I caved, packed the SUV with snacks, bug spray, and our son Liam's gaming console, and we hit the road. As we cruised down the tree-lined path to the lake, I felt a flicker of nostalgia. That dusty house sat on 3 acres of prime waterfront land neglected, sure, but with solid bones, like an old fighter who'd gone soft but could still throw a mean punch. The plan was simple. Check the place out, assess the damage, maybe sketch out a renovation that wouldn't drain our SAVYNGS. Hell, maybe even toss a line in the water. But as we rounded the final bend, something was wrong. A sleek black Escalade and a blue sedan were parked in the gravel drive. I squinted, confused. Nobody should have been there. Grandpa passed years ago, and I hadn't given a soul permission to step foot on that land. Emily leaned forward, her voice sharp. "Mark is someone. Leave no here." Before I could answer, I caught movement on the deck. 2 women in bikinis clinking wine glasses under the rotting pergola, their laughter bouncing across the yard. A kid in a towel darted past, nearly crashing into Liam, who was gawking from the back seat. I killed the engine and stepped out, my boots crunching on gravel, unsure if I was walking into a misunderstanding or some bizarre squatter's party. A guy in flip-flops strolled over, all smiles. "Hey, you the next guests?" Lisa said someone might show up later. My jaw tightened. "Guests? What are you talking about?" He grinned, clueless. "Yeah, this place is great. Lisa H. hooked us up through some private rental site. Said the old owner sold it, and she runs it now for the HOA. He flashed his phone, showing a booking confirmation for Lake VYEW Haven, managed by Lisa H. My house, my deck, my damn grill. Listed for due, lot $250 a night. Emily sidled up, her voice low. "Mark, this is Sawyer Sawhouse. What the hell?" I didn't answer, just stared at the listing, my brain scrambling to catch up. Lisa H. I'd heard of her new HOA president, the type to call the cops over an unmowed lawn. But this? I handed the phone back. "You all need to wrap up your stay and be gone by the end of the week." The guy blinked, startled. "Wait, you're not with the rental Sayer VYC?" "No," I said, heading for the house. "I'm the owner. The saw reel saw one." That night, sleep didn't come. Not because the beds were lumpy, I hadn't even made it that far, but because I was glued to my laptop, eyes burning as I clicked through rental sites. My house was everywhere, billed as a luxury lakeside retreat curated by Lisa H., the crown jewel of the HOA's vacation portfolio. Portfolio? Since when did the HOA run errands? The photos were slick drone shots, glossy navy shutters, string lights on the porch. My porch. The grass was too green, the fire pit too new. VYU stretched back over a year. Charming spot. Lisa was so welcoming. Loved the hot tub. I felt sick. This wasn't just trespassing, it was a full-on scam. The next morning, while Emily took Liam to town for groceries, I called every rental platform I could find, rattling off property IDs and listing numbers. Most reps were polite but useless, confirming the listings but stonewalling on details beyond the host's name. Lisa H., executive host. By mid-afternoon, I was pacing the property, noticing upgrades I hadn't paid for solar path lights, fresh gravel, a fancy hose rack. Someone was pouring money into my house, and it wasn't me. Then, like she'd been summoned by my rage, she appeared. The click-clack of heels on gravel announced her before I saw her blonde bob, designer sunglasses, a smile that screamed, "I'm here to help," right before ruining your life. Lisa Hayes. She didn't even flinch. "Oh, I didn't realize you were staying," she said, adjusting her tote bag. "Check-ins are usually Fridays." "Cut the crap," I snapped. "This is my house. You're not a realtor, not a manager. You're a trespasser profiting off my property for over a year." Her smile held, but her tone sharpened. "That's a bold claim. I've been maintaining this place since you abandoned it." The HOA had to step in. I've built a reputation for this property. My house, I barked. You never had my permission. You never even asked. She shrugged, like I was whining over a borrowed lawnmower. Nobody else complained. The guests love it. I've enhanced community value. Yeah, I said. I'll be talking to the guests. And the police. And a lawyer. That got her. Her lips tightened, eyes narrowing behind those shades. That's your right, she said, voice icy. But HOA policy backs me. The community appreciates me. I stared as she strutted off, her heels kicking up dust. This wasn't just a hustle, it was a scheme, and I was done playing nice. First thing next morning, I changed every lock, front door, back door, tool shed, even the rusty padlock on the boathouse. I slapped up 6 private property, no trespassing signs, installed motion lights, and parked my truck across the driveway like a barricade. Subtlety was over. Lisa had declared war. That afternoon, as I drilled a gate latch, tires crunched gravel. I turned, almost laughing. There was Lisa, marching up in a collared HOA shirt, clipboard in hand, flanked by 2 guys in black polos labeled HOA security. One chewed gum like a cow. The other wore tactical sunglasses like he was raiding a cartel. "Mr. Carter," Lisa called, her voice syrupy but tense. "We need access. We have a reservation checking in at 5. "No one's checking in," I said, leaning on the fence. "This property's closed. Indefinitely." The gum chewer stepped forward, puffing up. "Sir, you're interfering with HOA operations. That's a violation." "Violation of what?" I shot back. "I'm not in the HOA. This house never was." Lisa clicked her pen, scribbling. "That's debatable. We've been maintaining the grounds. Guests are scheduled. This is about community expectations." "Expectations don't trump ownership," I said. "I've got the deed inside and cameras rolling." "Try me." Lisa's eyes narrowed. "I'm calling the police. You're denying lawful occupancy." "Please," I said, pulling out my phone. "I've been meaning to say hi." 20 minutes later, a sheriff's cruiser rolled up. Deputy Collins stepped out, sizing up the scene: 3 HOA goons and 1 pissed-off guy with a drill. Lisa launched into her sob story, playing VY Tim. "This man's refusing entry to a rented property. He's threatening HOA staff." I handed Collins my ID, deed, and a folder stuffed with listing screenshots and a notarized affidavit of VYT from my lawyer. He flipped through it, whistling low. "Ma'am," he said to Lisa, "this property belongs to Mr. Carter. No transfer, no lease, no HOA jurisdiction. You're trespassing." Lisa started to protest, but he cut her off. "One more incident, and I'm writing citations." Her face twisted, but she nodded, her goons trailing her like scolded dogs as they peeled out. I exhaled, but this wasn't over. Lisa was too slick, too rehearsed. She'd spun a tale, so convincing she probably believed it herself. A noble steward say, "VY-ing abandoned house while I, the deadbeat owner, let it rot." She had a 4.9 star rating, for God's sake. I decided to flip the script. I called an old buddy, Ryan, a corporate lawyer with a knack for blending in. Clean-cut, quick-witted, the kind of guy who could pass for a tourist with a taste for chilled wine. He reached out to Lisa through a rental platform, posing as a renter. Her reply was instant, bubbly, intimate, calling herself a community liaison and pitching the house as part of an exclusive HOA lake experience. No mention of me. No hint she was acting for anyone else. She even sent a digital welcome packet, PDF maps, a keypad code for a lock I'd already trashed, and a property access agreement with a fake notary stamp and a forged signature. Mine. Ryan forwarded it all, and we had her in her own words. But we needed Moria's smoking gun. So Ryan showed up for a check-in, GoPro hidden in his shirt. At 11:15, a white BMW pulled in. Not Lisa, but her assistant, Tara Wells, a local realtor with overprocessed hair and a clipboard. She greeted Ryan like he was royalty. "Welcome. Lisa Centerbesh at an HOA meeting, but I'll show you around." Ryan played dumb. "So you guys own this place?" Tara chirped. "Oh yes, it's part of the HOA portfolio now. The old owner signed over access ages ago. Some legal trust thing. So, it's not someone else's property." Ryan pressed. No, no, Tara said, while VYing him off. All authorized. You're in good hands. Gotcha. On VY Deo, clear as day. Fraud. A fake ownership claim, a lie. Ryan texted me. She walked right into it. I nearly laughed. This wasn't just a scam, it was a boutique hustle with wine tastings and towel sale VYC. But something bugged me. The house looked too polished, new hot tub, fresh paint, string lights. I hadn't spent a dime. So who had? I dug into the HOA's public budget reports, slogging through PDFs with a bottle of cheap bourbon. Buried in community enhancements were line items. Dula $3,400 for lakeside gazebo repairs. Dula $7,600 for deck restoration. Dula $11,200 for a premium jacuzzi. My gazebo. My deck. My hot tub. I called an old landscaping contact, Nate, who confirmed it. An invoice for work at my address, signed by Lisa Hayes, paid by the HOA. She was laundering HOA funds to doll up my house for rentals, passing it off as a shared amenity while pocketing the profits. Then came the kicker. A guy I'd never met, Carl, a former HOA treasurer, called after hearing I was fighting Lisa. Over greasy diner eggs, he spilled it. She pushed me out, he said. I flagged fishy expenses funds spent on non-HOA land, invoices that didn't add up. They voted me out in a secret meeting. She runs the board like a cult. He leaned in. She's got a record. Fraud, a real estate scam in Nevada 10 years back. Changed her name to dodge background checks. My jaw dropped. My lawyer ran a check on Lisa's maiden name, Lisa Morgan. There was a 2012 wire fraud con VY tie-in, sealed but not hidden enough. We had her dead to rights. At 2:42 a.m., my phone buzzed. Motion detected. Backyard. The thermal camera showed 3 figures, one with a backpack, one with bolt cutters, one with a damn clipboard. I peeked through the blinds. Lisa, in yoga pants and an HOA president windbreaker, led Tara and a beefy goon named Vince her security. They were crouched by my fence, whispering like Lawrence spies. I hit record and called 911, loud enough for them to hear. Hi, this is Mark Carter. 3 trespassers, including my HOA president, are breaking into my property with tools. Outside, bolt cutters snapped a chain. They crept toward the deck, Lisa flashing a light, Tara clutching a folder. Emergency audit, Lisa whispered. Audit my ass. I flipped on the floodlights. 3 deer in headlights. Lisa's clipboard hit the dirt. Evening, I said. Bit early for a board meeting, no? Tara stumbled back, heels sinking. Lisa recovered, barking. This property's under HOA inspection. You're obstructing official business. You're breaking and entering. I shot back. And the sheriff's about to join us. Headlights lit the trees. Deputy Collins stepped out, blinking at the scene. Lisa, why are you here at 2:45 a.m.? She straightened. Officer, we're investigating community access irregularities. I have authorization. Collins wasn't buying it. You don't. This is an HOA land. Shut down. He cuffed Lisa, listing charges: trespassing, attempted fraud, conspiracy, and bringing a clipboard to a felony. She screamed, "This is a witch hunt. I'm the face of this neighborhood." Collins shrugged. "And I've got a booking sheet." The courtroom smelled like polish and rage. Lisa sat in a too-tight blazer, her face a mask of fake outrage. Tara fidgeted beside her. Vince had flipped, taking a plea to testify. My lawyer, Greg, a silver-haired shark, laid it all out. Tara's VY Deo lying about ownership, HOA invoices for my hot tub, Lisa's rental accounts, the forged welcome packet, and her Nevada fraud con VY tie-in. When Greg dropped that bomb, the room gasped. Lisa's smirk cracked. The jury took 4 hours. Guilty on all counts: trespassing, fraud, falsifying records, illegal rentals, misuse of HOA funds. Probation: 500 hours of community SARE VYC, Dula $85,000 restitution, Dula $27,000 in legal fees, and a lifetime HOA ban. I stood and said, "I just want my house back, no tourists, no clipboards." The court reporter laughed. Lisa didn't. 3 weeks later, we threw a Partino apps, just friends, neighbors, hot dogs, and Emily's killer potato salad. We called it the unbooking barbecue. The new HOA board showed up. Lisa's cronies were voted out after a fall. A neighbor brought a clipboard-shaped piñata, which didn't serve VYV long. At sunset, Liam and I mounted a new sign on the gate: private property, not for rent, not for HOA. If your name is Lisa, turn around. Trespassers will be fed to the koi. The crowd cheered. Someone blasted Sweet Home Alabama. Even Collins swung by for a selfie with the sign. As dusk settled, I leaned back, beer in hand, staring at my house. No strangers in the hot tub. No HOA ninjas in the bushes. Just peace. And if Lisa ever came back, well, the koi were star-VYing. So what do you think? Was I too harsh on Lisa? Or did she get what she deserved? Should HOAs have power over private property? Or are they just legalized bullies? Drop a comment, hit that like button, and subscribe for more wild stories. Let's hear your take.